I've been thinking a lot about skill systems lately and why we have them, what do we need them for, how we should approach them in our game. How far along the rabbit hole do I go in terms of wanting to implement a full skill system versus more the ad hoc approach that you see in something like BX, where certain abilities have skills and others are not attached to any sort of skills, and there's no universal framework for it. What I've come to think, and all the thinking I've been doing in my brain, whatever that's worth, is increasingly I'm feeling that I don't need a universal skill system. In fact, I don't want a universal skill system. What I want, or at least what I think I want, are skills for the things that I don't want to spend a whole lot of game time playing out or working on. So when I think of a skill that would fit that criteria, for me, it might be climbing, because to a certain extent, I don't want to spend time role playing each handhold, each upward push of muscle. I just want to get there or not. So skill, in that sense, makes a lot of sense for me. I don't want skills for social situations, any kind of social deduction. I want that to be a product of playing out the situation, not leaning on a skill. Same thing for perception. I don't want that. So then when it comes up to is, well, which things do I want skills for and which things I don't? I can make a list of those things for the things that I want skills for. I'll use a skill system. And the things that I don't, I won't.
Downtime activities, I think, are also a good category of things to look at for turning into skills. Things like research. If I'm running a game, I'm probably not going to want to go step by step, moment by moment through somebody spending the day at the library. What I'd really like to do is say something like, hey, you spend your day at the library diving into the stacks. Let's roll some dice to see how well your research does. I think that's a great version of an activity that I would say, yes, that's good to do as a skill. I want to reward someone who is good at research. It's not something, I'm not a librarian or somebody that works in research, and I don't want to delve into those kinds of detail. Another area, if I would look at something that is both important, that I either don't want to get into the minutia of, or I'm just not very educated or knowledgeable on that matter, such as in things like hunting, fishing, camping. I think in my mind, I would have, at the end of the day, a system that would, if you read through it, understand the things that I want to elide over just a little bit, and the things that we don't really want to spend a lot of time on, in that down in the weeds, if you will. And those are the things that would be my skill. Things that aren't as listed as skills, it would not be through some sort of omission on my part, but a deliberate choice, because those are the things I want to get into the weeds on. I want to really dig into. I want things that are going to cover the things on the side, the things that we're not interested in really getting into and simulating. The things that we want to make sure that we can essentially input some kind of character ability level against some sort of target difficulty level of some kind. There are things in the game, I'm talking here, BX, the white box, whatnot, that don't change. It's the world. Surprise is one. Getting lost, navigation is another. You roll whether you get lost or not. That roll doesn't change. Maybe I'd like to change that into a skill. I'd like to maybe have folks that want to enhance their ability to move around the world. I'm not sure yet. Those are some kind of edge cases. It is something that I think I wouldn't mind if a player can benefit from some kind of character setup, but at the same time, I don't want it to take over role-playing. How far does the skill go before we then go back to player capability, ability, ideas, imagination? Certainly something that I'm going to want to consider. What do you think? How do you feel about skill systems? What do you feel like about these systems that kind of have some skills but not all? I mean, things like BX, they just don't present it as such, because, say, this thief has a set of skills, cleric and magic user had a set of skills, but they're certainly not universal, certainly don't cover all things. Obviously, lots of other games go entirely into skills, and I'm fine with that, but I'm more referring to kind of the D&D-ish, or at least old school kind of D&D type games that I'm interested in thinking about at the moment. That's what I've got. I'm curious to know what you think. Let me know. Till then, game on.
Talk to you later.